Choose the right customer, or even a good product will lose. The mom test part 4. It is nighttime. A founder is sitting with his team. Notes from customer interviews are lying on the table. Several arrows are drawn on the whiteboard, and different opinions are flying around everywhere. Someone is saying build the product for parents. Someone is saying sell it to restaurants. Someone is saying target big companies first, because that is where the money is. The founder's biggest fear is exactly this, that he has spoken to customers, taken feedback, even seen signals of commitment. But if he now chooses the wrong customer, then all the hard work will go in the wrong direction. And this is where the curiosity begins. In business, does real victory come from building the product or from choosing the right customer? In the third part, we understood that you do not need a formal meeting every time to get the truth out of a customer. Many times, a casual conversation is more honest, because in that, the customer stays relaxed and openly talks about his real problems. We also understood that it is important to move beyond compliments and polite interest and look for commitment. If a customer only says, the idea is good, then that is a weak signal. But if that same customer gives his time, wants a follow-up meeting, is ready to test the prototype, gives an introduction, or talks about paying, then a real signal appears there. The official positioning of the mom test is also based on this same practical approach. How to get more learning and sales out of customer conversations, even when people are lying to you. But now, in the final part, the question becomes even bigger. Suppose you ask the right questions. You learned how to avoid bad data. You understood genuine pain points through casual conversations. You even caught the signals of commitment and advancement. Even then, the business can fail if you do not choose the right customer segment. Because the same problem does not have equal value in every market. The same product can be essential for one group, optional for another, and completely useless for a third. This is where customer segmentation becomes necessary. Customer segmentation means understanding customers in different groups according to their need, problem, behavior, interest, budget, and motivation. This is not just a fancy marketing term. It is a basic rule of startup survival. Because when you try to make everyone happy, you often fail to satisfy anyone deeply. Your message becomes weak, the product becomes confused, and the identity of the brand becomes blurred. New founders often think that the bigger the market, the bigger the chance. They feel that if the product can be useful for students, parents, business owners, freelancers, and companies, all of them, then this is a huge opportunity. But in reality, this often becomes a trap. A big market sounds good, but in the beginning, the founder has limited time, limited money, and limited energy. If he targets everyone, then he will not be able to properly understand the real language, real pain, and real buying behavior of any one customer. A strong startup often begins with a narrow focus. First, it chooses one specific group, understands its problem deeply, builds the solution for that one group, communicates in that group's language, and builds trust within that small circle. When the product proves useful there, expansion becomes easier. In other words, the beginning may be small, but if the focus is right, the growth can be strong. Sarah's story is very useful for understanding this point. Sarah had created a natural condiment powder. Condiment means a spice or ingredient that improves the flavor of food. The product was good, useful, and could be used in different ways. Bodybuilders could add it to protein shakes, restaurants could use it in desserts as a sugar alternative, and health-conscious mothers could use it in children's food for balance between taste and health. From the outside, this looked like a huge opportunity. One product, 3 markets, a greater chance of sales. But the problem began exactly here. Bodybuilders wanted the powder's flavor to be light, so that the taste of the shake would not get spoiled. Restaurants feared that the original flavor of the dessert would change. Mothers wanted the product to be affordable, simple, and liked by children in taste. That means 3 different groups were expecting 3 different things from the same product. If Sarah had started fulfilling every demand, the identity of the product would have ended. It would not have become perfect for bodybuilders, not for restaurants, and not for mothers. This is the place where a founder has to show courage. Choosing a customer is not just a decision, it is also a sacrifice. When you choose one segment, you are saying no to the other segments for some time. This is difficult because the founder feels that maybe the opportunity will slip away. But in reality, this no is what makes your product clear. This focus is what sharpens your marketing. This niche is what gives you identity. Sarah did exactly this. She focused on health-conscious mothers, especially those mothers who buy everyday items for children from small shops. She made the product simple, made the positioning clear, and told shopkeepers to place it near the children's breakfast section so that mothers would notice it easily. When she went back after a week to take feedback, she found that the product was becoming popular in the very group she had targeted. This is the power of segmentation. By choosing the right customer, that same product suddenly starts looking much more meaningful. This story shows that in the beginning, being broad is not smart. It can be dangerous. You can eventually work for everyone, but the beginning should be from one group. First, build trust in a niche, then expand. First, deeply solve the problem of one community, then move to the next segment. This is the method that saves the brand from becoming confused. Now, from here, the matter is not just of choosing the customer, but also of running the process. Because customer learning is not a one-time activity. It is not something where you did 2 interviews, made some notes, and then went off to build the product. It is a continuous process. You have to define goals, research customers, keep the agenda flexible, extract learning from meetings, organize notes, and turn those learnings into decisions with the team. Many readers and book notes on the mom test highlight this very point, that the book does not just teach questions, but also explains the process of arranging conversations and getting maximum learning from them. Before every customer meeting, the founder should be clear about what he wants to learn. Does he want to understand the intensity of the problem? Does he want to know the existing solutions? Does he want to understand pricing sensitivity? Does he want to see whether the customer is serious or just showing curiosity? If the objective is not clear, then the meeting may be pleasant but not useful. The conversation will feel good, but no decision will come out of it. That is why preparation is very important. Before meeting the customer, do basic research about him. Which industry is he in? What is his role? What kind of challenges might he be facing? If he is an existing customer, then what is his history? Which products has he used? What did he complain about? What gives him value? This background work makes the customer feel respected, and it helps the founder ask better follow-up questions. But while making the agenda, one thing must be remembered. The agenda should be flexible. Customer learning is not a court hearing where every question must be asked only in a fixed order. It is a natural conversation. You should know the direction, but the path should be created by the customer's answers. If the other person starts speaking in detail about some unexpected pain point, do not cut him off. Perhaps that very thing is your real opportunity. If there is a prototype of the product, show it at the right time. Showing it too early can create bias. But after understanding the right context, showing the prototype can be useful because then the customer can give specific feedback. Sketches, visuals, rough models, mock-ups. All these can make the conversation concrete. But remember, showing a prototype does not mean taking approval. It means understanding the customer's behavior and response. Now comes the biggest challenge, managing the learning within the team. Many startups are very active in collecting customer feedback, but they are not able to organize it. The sales team hears one thing, the product team hears another, the marketing team a third, and the founder a fourth. Then everyone starts making decisions according to their own understanding. The result is that product direction gets scattered. That is why customer learning should not remain locked inside the founder's diary alone. The team needs a common understanding. When sales, marketing, design, and product teams look at the same customer data from different angles, better insight is created. Sales understands what the customer will pay for. Marketing understands in what language the message should be spoken. Design understands where the user has friction. The product team understands which feature is necessary and which one is only noise. But this will happen only when the feedback is not scattered, but organized. In Rob Fitzpatrick's own journey too, this same lesson appears. His team would try to take immediate action after receiving customer feedback. If a customer asked for a new feature, the team would start working on it immediately. If someone reported a problem, it would be fixed right away. From the outside, this may look customer-centric. But slowly, the team's focus began to break. Objectives kept changing, direction kept shifting, and employees started getting exhausted. Eventually, things reached a serious point, even including a situation like the CTO leaving. Then it was understood that taking action on every piece of feedback is not customer-focused, it can also become chaos. This is a very big lesson. The sentence, "the customer is always right," is popular in business, but in product building, following it blindly can be dangerous. The customer can give valuable information about his problem, but every solution proposed by the customer is not necessarily correct. Every feature request is not necessary. Every complaint is not strategic. The job of the founder and the team is to listen to the feedback, but filter it according to pattern, priority, and business goal. If 1% out of 10 customers asks for one feature, it is not necessary to immediately put it on the roadmap. But if again and again different customers are pointing to the same pain point, if they are spending time or money on that problem, if that problem is common in your chosen segment, then this is a strong signal. Recognizing that pattern is the real skill of customer learning. Here, the 3 core rules of the mom test tie the whole story together. Talk about the customer's life, not about your idea. Ask about past specifics instead of future opinions. And listen more instead of talking more. Many summaries and book notes also describe these core rules as the most practical learning of the book. Now, if you look at this whole journey like one story, it began with the excitement of a founder. He had an idea, he had passion, and he wanted people to say yes. In the first part, we learned that falling in love with the idea is dangerous. Falling in love with the customer's problem is necessary. He understood that, is my idea good, is the wrong question. The right question is, how are you solving this problem right now? In the second part, we learned that bad data is the biggest enemy. Compliments, vague answers, and approval-seeking responses can give him false confidence. He learned that if someone says the idea is good, then he should not stop there. He has to ask follow-ups. He has to extract the real pain, the real behavior, and the real motivation. In the third part, we learned that casual conversations make the customer relax. Not everything is found in a formal meeting. Many times, in events, breaks, small conversations, and natural settings, the customer speaks his truth more openly. We also understood that interest and commitment are different things. "I like it" is a weak signal, but time, introduction, trial, pre-order, or payment are strong signals. And now, in the final part, we understood the most important thing. Without choosing the right customer, all learning remains incomplete. If the product is for everyone, then perhaps it is not deeply necessary for anyone. Choosing a niche is not a weakness, it is a strategy. First, solve the problem of one focused group, build trust there, then gradually expand. And when feedback comes, instead of chasing every voice, look for patterns, discuss with the team, keep objectives clear, and turn customer learning into an organized process. So the conclusion of this whole story is very clear. A successful business is not built on assumptions, it is built on facts. And facts do not come only from market reports, they come from the real life of customers. But to hear the truth from customers, you need the right questions, the right environment, the right patience, and the courage to keep your ego aside. The mom test teaches us exactly this, that customer validation does not mean getting people to praise your idea. It means placing your idea in front of reality, but in such a way that reality is able to speak. If the customer rejects your product, that is not defeat, it is protection. It can save you from months of wrong effort. If the customer gives commitment, that is a signal that you may be moving in the right direction. And if again and again the same pain is appearing in the same segment, then perhaps your business is hidden there. In the end, the biggest lesson for an entrepreneur is simply this. Before building a business, learn to listen. But not just listen, learn to hear the right thing. Look at the customer's behavior more than his words. Look at commitment more than compliments. Look at past actions more than opinions. And in the crowd of the market, first identify that small group whose problem is so real that it is waiting for your solution. Because the real question of business is not how cool your idea is. The real question is whether, because of you, some real problem in someone's life will become smaller. If the answer is yes, if the customer feels it, if he is ready to give something for it, and if your team can turn that learning into the right process, then that is how an idea slowly becomes a product becomes a brand, and a brand becomes a business. This is the full story of the mom test. Speak less, listen more. Do not get carried away by praise, search for truth. Do not try to sell to everyone, choose the right customer, and build your business not on imagination, but on customer reality. That is the path on which the founder does not just build a product, but by understanding the real need of the market, creates a solution that people do not just call good, they actually step forward and adopt you something new. Or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.